Hey, crafters, crocheters, yarn enthusiasts. Today is Friday, April 15th, 2022. My name is Jenny. Welcome back to Granny Square Peg. I do have a blanket for you today. It's a big one. It's a long one. It hangs all the way down to the bottom of my bookshelves. Let's take a look. Now, my bookshelves start up there. All the way down. 80 inches. Let's see, what do my notes say? Alright. It is 39.5 inches wide, which isn't all that big. It's only just a little over 3 feet. But it is 80 inches tall. All the way down. Top to bottom. 80 inches. So it'll fit a twin size bed. Okay. This is a color sample blanket. I used every single color of Caron Simply Soft that they had sold back in 2015. Because there's my pattern. 5 double crochet shell, V-stitch, 5 double crochet shell. Look at I love that section of colors right there. And then check out these neon colors that Caron Simply Soft made. I don't know if the camera can pick them up very well, but I love them. Some neutrals, some pastels. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to take the blanket down. I'm going to sit you guys on the tripod and we'll go over all the details about this blanket, okay? Okay, so I'm calling this blanket Caron Simply Soft Color Sample Blanket. It is 39.5 inches wide. It's 80 inches tall. I made it in May, June, and July of 2015. It is V-stitches and shells. So, 7 years I've had this blanket. And it's not finished yet. So, let's start out with the pattern that I did. Alright, so when I do my first initial chain, I always do a row of single crochet. Then I start my pattern. Okay, there's a V-stitch, and a V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the same space, and it creates a stitch that looks like a V. And then I skipped 3, and then I did a shell. Now this is just a 5 double crochet shell, so it's 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the same stitch. So then when I go back on the next row, I do a V-stitch in the chain 1 of the V-stitch. I do the 5 double crochet shell in the 3rd double crochet of the shell in the previous row. I like the pattern. This blanket isn't so much about the pattern and the stitches as it is about the colors. I bought one color of every color that Caron Simply Soft had out in the year 2015. And I put them all in a blanket, and they are all in random order. There are 61 colors in this blanket. And then this is soft pink. Way down towards the end of the blanket, I repeated this soft pink. So for whatever reason, I thought I didn't have it in the blanket. And instead of double checking, so soft pink is in here twice. But that's okay. Other than that, there's 61 colors in this blanket. Okay? So I'm going to give you the list of the colors. I had to wrote them down. Alright. So we start off with plain old basic white. This is robin's egg. Strawberry. Now I didn't have a label for this one. I must have used this in another project. I think it's pistachio. All right. After the pistachio is the soft pink. And then we have blue mint. I love that blue. And then there's grape. And then fuchsia. And then they call it off-white, but I call it soft white. I often call it soft white. That's this one here. Let's see if I can get this a little closer. There we go. The blanket's so big, I'm pulling it from the other end. Alright, let's see. That is Pagoda. It is a dark shade of blue, but also a dark shade of teal. It's, I don't know if the camera's picking it up very well. It is very teal in color. And this should be watermelon. Yes. Let's see if I can remember these colors without looking at my notes, right? Alright, so that's watermelon. This is soft blue. And then this is ocean. This one is just called purple. And that is, this one is orchid. Autumn red. Gray, I think this is their gray heather. And then berry blue. Sunshine. Plum wine. Burgundy. Autumn maize. I didn't have a label for this one either. I think this is sage. Because more than likely I used it in another project. So this is dark country blue. Chocolate, which is a brown color. Can you... There. Use the sunlight from the windows. That is chocolate. Okay, so this orange, it is either persimmon or pumpkin. Again, I don't have the label for this one. I must have used it in another project. I'm thinking this one is... Yeah, I don't know. It's either pumpkin or persimmon. It's an orange color. And then basic black. This is bone. And then this bright color. This is just called orange. But this orange is so bright and it's got so many red undertones. Oh, it's like straight out of the 70s. This is mango. And then blue cobalt. Which I love this color. Actually, I love these next couple colors. Alright. This is limelight. And then this purple here, they call this passion. They don't make this color anymore, which is such a shame because it's an awesome shade of purple. And this should be just red. And this is royal blue. Cool green, which actually has a bit of like a neon tint to it, and it's like a medium shade of teal, but they called it cool green. And then these are the neon colors, and I don't think they make all of these neon colors anymore, which is a shame because they were such fun colors. So there's neon green, neon yellow, neon orange. This one they called coral, but it's neon, and then neon pink. And when they're together, they look awesome together. Alright, this is charcoal. It is charcoal heather. It's in their heathers. And then that should be Harvest Red. And again, I didn't have the ball band or the label for this one. I think this is Dark Sage. This is Super Duper Yellow, which it sure is when you're looking at it. Then there's Victorian Rose. Country Blue. Light Country Blue. Soft Green. Lavender Blue. Lavender Blue. Taupe, which is, it's brown with gray undertones. This is Iris, which is actually a very medium shade of purple. My camera, when I'm looking through the screen, is showing it blue. So hopefully when I do edits, it'll actually look purple. But it's called Iris. This is green. Okay, what's after green? I think gold is after green. Yep. This is gold. It's a shade of yellow, but they're calling it gold. I would call it mustard yellow, but again, it's an awesome color. So then this one is either pumpkin or persimmon. I don't know which one's which. And this is blackberry. And again, soft pink. This is duplicated. There's soft pink down at the beginning. This is chartreuse. Lemonade. Light country peach. Woodland heather. And then Kelly green is what I ended the blanket with. This woodland heather is the only color I didn't like out of 61 colors. And so see all the yarn tails all the way down the side, which my cat loves to chew on them. I have to sew in the yarn tails. So you see, we're showing you the colors. I did 2 rows of each and every color. I can highlight the colors in the Caron Simply Soft line. I do have absolute favorites, and then I have others that are just, you know, they're okay. I like a lot of the shades of blue. And of course those strawberry pink and watermelon pink. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna turn myself around, sit on that side, and we'll talk about the details of the blanket. So, what do you guys think of my Caron Simply Soft sample blanket, color sample blanket? Sorry, got a hangnail. For a while in 2015, I had a love affair with Caron Simply Soft. It's been a yarn, it's been around for as long as I can remember, even when I was learning how to crochet in the 80s. And whatnot. I always had a problem with it. It was always splitting on me. I don't know if they changed the way they did the yarn, but it doesn't split on me like it used to. So I enjoyed working with it. Okay, Caron Simply Soft as a yarn. It is a number 4 medium weight. It has 60 plus colors in their line. Okay. I made this blanket. I think it's a decent solid yarn to work with. It is soft. It is satiny. And it's got awesome color choices. I made this blanket in May, June, and July of 2015. So the pattern is my own. You'll see there are so many variations of V-stitches and shells in a blanket like this. So many people have done this. It's just we all have our own variations, and we all have our way of doing it. My way could be different, or it could be the exact same as somebody else's. I didn't find it in a book. Even though I have plenty of stitch dictionaries. I didn't find it on the internet and anybody's blog post or anything. I did it myself. I wanted to highlight the colors, but double crochets are often my favorite stitch for doing things like that. My initial starting chain. When I was going through this the other day to count out the chain and write down some notes on what I did to it, I think I had to fudge my numbers a little bit. I don't think my initial starting chain was the right number in order to handle what I wanted to do with the V-stitches and the shells. So, I could give you the number, but it wouldn't be right. The math wouldn't work out. So I have to rewrite it, even within my own notes. Like if I ever wanted to make this again, I'd have to rewrite it because the math was not right. So it is roughly 150 chains. Okay, and my first row is single crochets. Okay, because I like a nice firm foundation row before I start working on the pattern. Okay, and then after I did that, row number 2, I would have chained 3 and skipped 2 or 3 of the first stitches and then did the V-stitch. Then I skipped 3, did the 5 double crochet shell, skipped 3, did a V-stitch all the way across, and I would have ended with a V-stitch. I would have skipped 2 or 3 stitches and then did a double crochet on the end. Okay, so like the chain 3 at the beginning of the row acts as your first double crochet, and then you do a double crochet at the end. And then it's V-stitches and shells in the middle. So then on the next row, so that would be row 2, row 3, I would of course chain 3, do a V-stitch in the V-stitch from the previous row. So a V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and so in that chain 1 space is in the V-stitch, and that's where you do your next V-stitch. And then I would skip the second half of that V-stitch and the first half of my shell, because the shell has 5 double crochets in it. So when you're working and you're coming back on the next row, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the third double crochet is where you do your next shell. Okay, so it's a shell sitting on top of a shell on top of a shell all the way up through the blanket. Always on the third one because the third's right in the middle. Okay? All right, so that's all I did all the way through. So I did 2 rows of each and every color. And they are in complete random order. I know when you're looking at the video, right, that some of the colors are absolutely beautiful together, like the robin's egg and the strawberry and the pistachio, and you're going along, right? And some of them are absolutely beautiful next to each other, right? And then you'll get to here, where this red goes into this gray, which goes into this blue. They are not pleasing together at all. You'd be like, Jenny, why did you do that? Well, we'll get there in a minute. And so it keeps right on going. Yeah, sorry. That's the side with my yarn tails. Right? I don't know. I like this section here with the blue, the brown, and this shade of orange and the black. I thought they looked really good together. But this orange that they got, oh, the red undertones on this is so dark. But I love the mango, and I think mango looks really good next to this blue, which I think this blue and the red and the purple go really well together. And then we go into these neon bright colors. Oh, I loved these. So cool green, limelight, neon yellow, neon orange, coral, and neon pink. Oh, they are beautiful together. I actually took these colors and made a baby blanket out of it for my nephew Caleb, and I loved it. So then you got this charcoal gray next to this red, which is next to this green, and this super duper yellow. They don't go together. I know that. Well, it's fine. And the plum color, but these 2 shades of blue, I think it's country blue and light country blue, they go nice together. And then I like this purple and the green and this golden yellow. I think they go really well together. Of course, you can't go wrong with pink and purple next to each other. But then light country peach, light country peach on its own is a beautiful color, but try to mix it with others and it does not play well. And then this woodland heather, it is it's green with a lot of gray and white undertones. It's the one color that I really didn't like. And then Kelly Green was on the end because it was the one color I had the hardest time getting my hands on. That's why it's the last color in the blanket. I don't know. So some colors work really well together. Some don't. Oh, so why are they in such random order? Well, because when I decided to do this project, I was shopping at AC Moore, which is a craft store, which is now, it closed during the pandemic, but it was still open in 2015. I was shopping at Michael's craft store, Joann Fabrics, sometimes at Walmart. I'm not a big Walmart fan. Walmart is usually too crowded for me, but my Walmart has a yarn section. Anyway, when I was shopping for the yarn, don't worry, it's water. I can only get whatever the craft stores had, and since the craft store is unlimited on space because they sell a little bit of everything in there, I couldn't get all the colors that Caron Simply Soft makes. You know, like the white and the black, those are easy because they're standard basic colors, and red and whatever. But some of the other colors, like the cool green and the neons, not all the stores sold them. So if AC Moore sold neon pink, but Joann sold neon orange, then, you know, I was picking it up at two different places. So when I was done going to all of my craft stores, my local craft stores, wherever in the list of colors, when they didn't have any, I would go to yarnspirations.com, which is the website that sells Caron Simply Soft. And then I would go to Hirschners.com. Hirschners is a catalog. Well, it used to be a catalog back in the day when you used to mail in your orders, right? And that's how I filled in the gaps with the colors that I didn't have. I like playing with colors. It's one of the things I do. I like mixing a lot of colors together. I once had a lady ask me to make a baby blanket, right? I'm like, okay, I love making baby blankets. They're quick and easy, and she wanted it in a granny square, which is quick and easy, but she wanted it in one color, in a baby blue color, and I gotta tell you, I was bored out of my mind working with one color. It is not my favorite thing to do. I will do it if I have to, but if you'll notice, all of my blankets are multicolored, and I get bored working with one solid color. So, the color order of the blanket is based on when I pick these colors up. So, white's the first color. It was the first color I bought. And then robin's egg was the second color I bought. And then the strawberry pistachio soft pink. So that's why they are in this completely random order. And I know there are plenty of you out there saying, I can't do random order. I know. I know how hard it is. Some of us with OCD, but also a lot of times it's just because you're very particular about your color order, which is fine. It's absolutely okay. If you can't do random, that's fine. Then rearrange them where it makes more sense to you. That's the beauty of blankets like this. You can make it to your needs and your preferences, okay? Would I like sometimes my colors to be complementary to each other? Yes. Do I always want them in rainbow order? No. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple has its time and its place. And it's not in everything. So what you want to do is just put complementary colors together. And then when you got a nice block of colors that make sense to you, if you want to use the rest of the colors, do a neutral. Do black, do white, do beige or tan to break it up so you can move on to the next set of complementary colors. That's how I do things. I actually have a blanket over there that, I did it in complementary colors, and then I wanted to do another set of colors. I did a neutral tan, beige, to break it up. So I really love this blanket. It's got a lot of drape to it. It's not thick, it's not heavy, it's not dense, but when you sit with it, it's still warm. Because, I've got my fans on, so it's too warm to sit with today. So, all right, so 61 colors with soft pink repeated. My total rows, I did write it down. My first row is single crochet. My last row is single crochet. So, colors, for the colors, it's 124 rows. Okay? And 2 rows of each color. And 61 colors with soft pink repeated. All right. My last row with the Kelly Green, when I got done with doing the shell and the V-stitch, all I did was just go back over it and just do a single crochet. That's all I did. Just to even that out a little bit. Now, am I putting a border on there? Yes. But for 7 years, I've been completely stuck on what kind of border to put on there. Sorry. The fibers. Allergies going up my nose. So my blanket, I know my blanket is not wide enough. It only comes in at 39.5 inches wide. So while it will fit on a twin size bed, it won't have any overhang. So I need to widen it up, and I'll do that with the border, but I don't want to add to the length. So what I would do is, I think I'm actually going to do the V stitches for the border. I think I'll do a couple rows of V stitches to widen it out, and then go around it and do the 5 double crochet shell to give it a scalloped edge. So what I would do is I would just lay the blanket on its side and just do V stitches all along the side for 80 inches, and then turn around and do it again until I get the wideness, the width that I want. And then I would go all the way around it. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a process, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. But then I'm stuck on color. What kind of color do I want to do the border in? Do I want to just do a solid color? Do I want to do multiple colors? I don't know. I've been so stuck. I mean, I want to highlight the colors in the blanket. So maybe something neutral. But I don't think white's neutral enough, and I don't think black's neutral enough. So then I was wondering if I should do it in this soft white. I wonder if that would be neutral enough to do the border. So do you guys have an opinion? Anybody watching my videos? If you've made it this far, find a yarn ball. Give me an emoji of a yarn ball. Do you have an opinion? Should I use colors that are in the blanket and make the border multicolor, or should I find something neutral to do it? If you have an idea, let me know, because I'm stuck. In the meantime, I will sit one night with my little darning needle, and I will sew in all these little ends. These little ends don't bother me. When I have to sew them in, yeah, it's part of the job. If you're going to crochet or knit, it's all part of the job. Some people don't like doing it, but like I said, it's part of the job. Size for the hook, I used a G, which is a 4.5 millimeter, maybe. You'd think someday I would remember the millimeters attached to the letters. So in US terms, I used a G. Okay, I don't remember the millimeters off the top of my head. So I think that is it. Caron Simply Soft color sample blanket. I made it in May, June, and July of 2015. There we go. All the colors I used. Do you want me to read them out again? No. All right, so I did go to yarnspirations.com, and I checked their color list on the 11th. Today's the 15th. So 4 days ago, I checked it on the 11th. Okay. So the colors are still very similar today as they were in 2015. They have a color on their website called, oh, I wrote it down. Hold on, my list of notes is a mess. Plum Perfect. Okay, they have Plum Perfect on their website today, but Plum Perfect wasn't a color in 2015. And then they've got something called Feathered Gray on their website today that they didn't have in 2015. Okay, and then in 2015 they had that purple color called Passion, which was absolutely beautiful, but they don't have that today. And I think that's the only three colors that were different. Is they had Passion then, they don't have it now. They have Plum Perfect and Feathered Gray now, but they didn't have it then. So, you know, very consistent. 7 years later, all these colors are still being sold, and I think that's awesome. Anything else? Oh, I know. Hold on one second. I know it's a lot of information in one video, but that's how my brain works. It's all, and it's always moving, always. So just bear with me. Someday I'll slow it down a little bit, maybe. What I did with this, when I got done doing my 2 rows of the color, I had also started a little sampler scarf. It's done in a ripple. Okay, so when I did my 2 rows of white and my 2 rows of robin's egg and my 2 rows of strawberry, I went to my sampler scarf and did 2 rows of white and 2 rows of robin's egg and 2 rows of strawberry. This scarf, unfortunately, is in a different box, bin, or bag, so I don't know where it's at. And then, because I would love to show that to you, because that's actually something I'm going to keep for myself. So when I was done doing the 2 rows on the blanket, I did 2 rows on the scarf. And then when I was done with that, I did a corner to corner square. I made a square out of the corner to corner pattern. Okay, I did it in 10 rows. Then now I have another color sample. So then when I was done doing that, I did a traditional granny square in 5 rounds. And then I did a solid granny square in 3 rounds. So I have a lot of color samples for Caron Simply Soft. So in another bin, box, or bag somewhere is my color sample scarf. And then my pile of corner to corner squares, my pile of granny squares, traditional granny squares, and then a pile of solid granny squares. Because I was having a love affair with Caron Simply Soft, and for the first time in my life, I could afford to buy 1 skein of each and every color. So that's what I did, and because I like lots of colors in my projects, in my blankets, I did every single color they have. I know. I don't know. It sounds crazy when I say it all out loud. But I enjoy working with a lot of color. I mean, come on. These neon colors, look at them. They're so pretty. So that is my color sample blanket. Okay. I still have to put a border on it, and I'm stuck on what kind of coloring I should use. So for now, what I will do is I will sit and I will sew in all these yarn tails so my kitty cat will stop trying to eat them, because it's not healthy for him to eat all that yarn. And then I will put it away until I can figure out what I want to do with it. Ooh, it'd be nice to put tassels on there, right? But now I can't do that because I need width to it. It's not wide enough. Yeah, I'm thinking about what I could do. I'm sorry. So let's see. I have another bin of projects to go through. I have a bin of yarn to go through. I told you I was going to put up a video of me going through one of my yarn bins. I did film it, and I went to sit down and do edits, and I was still going to put it up. I have a piece of skin, a dry skin hanging off my nose because of allergies. I got more tired throughout the video, and you can see how tired I was by the end, but I couldn't put it up because it was a day where my husband was working from home, and he was talking on the phone in the background to one of the bosses, and I just don't have the skill set to edit that out in a video where I can leave my talking in there but get rid of my husband's. so I couldn't use the video footage that I have. So I might refilm it because I have a lot of bins that have just random yarn in it. But it's a big bin and it was almost an hour-long video. So you guys have to let me know if you want to go through another yarn bin with me. So that's it for today. I don't know what video I plan on putting up next. I don't know if I'm going to grab another blanket or if I'm going to do a yarn bin or what. I'm not sure yet. I don't plan too far in advance with this. It's whatever my mood is says I'm in the mood to do. So if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on what you think I should do with the border on this and what kind of color I should use. Opinions on stitches. I think a V-stitch would be nice since V-stitches are in the blanket. Guys, I definitely need to add some width to it. Yeah, so give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in about a week. Bye!